let's do this problem, trig identity, like I always do. I take this and write it at the bottom. So I want this to equal tangent of x, and then I just work my way across until I get to my answer. Okay, the first step for all these problems, well, not for all of them, but a lot of times it's to convert things to sine and cosine, but the really important thing for all these problems is that you're doing it in an organized manner so the teacher can follow what you're doing. Don't scribble things or write things all around. See how I've lined up all my equal signs right here?
Yeah.
That's why I do that. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is convert anything to sine or everything into sine and cosine. So this would be 1 over sine x all over. In fact, just so you can see it better, I'm just going to use different colors so you can see the things that have changed. Okay? Mm-hmm. So now the next thing that's going to change is, you kind of have to know how to do this in your head, but this is going to equal 1 over sine x cosine x.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Minus cosine x sine x. Now, in fact, what you can do right now is you can recognize that you're going to have to get common denominators here, right?
Okay.
So I'm actually going to...
I wasn't supposed to cancel those out.
So the next step will be to rewrite this as 1 minus cosine squared x over sine x cosine x. So in your head, what you're going to have to be able to do, you're going to have to be able to go from here to here and understand, oh, I need to multiply this by cosine x and cosine x. That's in my head.
Okay, yeah. Because there's a cosine. Okay, yeah.
You don't have to write it. That's what's going on in your head. And then also in your head, you're thinking, oh, then I'll have common denominators and I can put them together. Yeah. So that's what you have to learn how to do these problems. That's kind of the whole point of these problems. Yeah. Now, what does this equal right here?
That equals sine.
That equals sine squared x over sine x cosine x. Sorry, I'm forgetting.
You said it's being like multiplied or added or divided.
So now what can I do with this? Sine squared x is like sine x times sine x. Yeah. So what can you do with one of the sine x's? You can cancel them out, and you're going to have sine x and cosine x left over, which equals tangent x. Yeah. Sorry for not following through with my black representing the changes. I think I messed it up at some point, but you understand, and so kind of the point of this is you can see, and the teacher can follow your logic every time. They know, oh, I see, I see. Okay. So knowing how not to show too much work, but to show enough work. Yeah. So like this is a great example right here. To go from this step to that step, I did that stuff in my head because if I'm doing these kind of problems, that means I can do basic stuff in my head. Yeah. And I know how to add and subtract fractions, which requires common denominators. Right? So be careful with it, organize your stuff neatly, and also I'm going to erase all these so that it looks nice and neat. And so now you can see, oh, you started with the left side, you started with this, and you ended with this, and you proved that left side equals the right side.
Yeah.